What up? Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel, family. Don't forget to go to artbyricco.com. A lot of y'all been ordering. I salute y'all for that. That's www.artbyricco.com. Somewhere out there's another Rico. That's another artist, and it's not me. And oddly enough, this nigga website is called Art by Rico too. My Rico has two C's in it. Um, Kyle Rittenhouse skyrocketed to conservative stardom after he murdered two Americans who was exercising their right to peaceful protest. Peaceful to some people, you know, is basically walking around with picket signs with Bibles and "We shall overcome" and singing spiritual hymns. To conservatives, violent protest is folks with skateboards protesting that night. They're not burning anything. They're making a ruckus. They're complaining. Misspelled signs, marching in circles. Kyle Rittenhouse supposedly got attacked by somebody with a Molotov cocktail who either threw it at him. But mind you, my question is, for everybody that's saying this dude, had every right to return fire. I had a dude on my Facebook page, a black dude, a Marine, was like, yeah, bruh, he returned fire. He just, those protesters got what they deserve. And I'm sitting there like, you can't bring a gun to a bottle fight, my man. That's what when somebody says aggravated battery, that's what aggravated battery is. It's actually when you're whooping somebody's ass and you pick up a bat or a stick, then you've aggravated the battery. You made it worse. Kyle Rittenhouse had no business being there. He actually traveled from another state with the sole intention of killing somebody. He bought a loaded weapon, an assault rifle. I can understand if he actually came there with a bat. He came there with a flag, or I don't know, some mace. But when you bring a loaded weapon to a rally, you was never invited there. See, Black Lives Matter members, or the those who actually chose to protest, were invited to protest. There's flyers that they set out flyers and say, look here, because we get them in New Orleans down here. We'll say rally protesting for equal rights, equal pay, LGBT rights, and of course they're gonna all mingle that shit together. That's why it's always a scrambled up crowd of fat white girls with blue hair and some black dudes with dreadlocks and some herbal tea drinking black chicks. Usually when Black Lives Matter or one of these liberal groups have a protest, they all kind of like mingle together. Nobody said, oh, also if you're part of a militia group, you're invited to come here too. That's what a lot of people don't understand. This boy and his mama drove a whole state away in a car full of ammunition to a peaceful protest. Who knows what the hell he was doing with that gun in his hand? Aiming at people? You bring a AK-47 or an assault rifle to a protest, we gonna whoop your ass too. Especially if you walking around pointing at people. You deserve to get the fuck knocked out of you. Alright? You chose to come there. They were sitting there protesting against a man who got shot in the back 7 times, and you show up with a damn a loaded weapon? Come on, bruh. I can understand if he took his gun and smacked a couple of motherfuckers in the head with a gun, how like on TV when you take the butt of a gun and you boom, like I can understand it, but to literally take your gun and use deadly fire, you're not a police. See, cops are the only ones who can legally, because of qualified immunity, who can legally use a gun and pretend they felt a threat for their lives. This man overnight, everybody on my Facebook timeline who's a Trump supporter or a conservative, they're all using this dude as some type of American hero. This nigga done for life. And let me tell you something. If he go to general population, he getting booked. He gonna have to show his paperwork. And mind you, you can get done in the feds. Don't let nobody tell you because you go into to prison and doing fed time, it's like Club Med. That's a motherfucking lie. I did fed time. And let me tell you something. You bring some bad paperwork there and they find out you're the guy, the actual shooter, man, the hacks gonna pass a kite around the whole yard and let them know it was you. You the one get it. You gonna get, first of all, he gonna get his cheeks busted. All right? And he need to get them, they need to bust them cheeks. Stuff a gun or a curtain right up his ass. Then they gonna book him anyway. And on top of that, if the GP, if they don't book him, his cellie got to do it. Your cellmate got to book you. All right? So I don't feel sorry for his ass. Y'all keep thinking, oh, he's got, the family going to get justice. Shit, every cop who goes to prison, now mind you, cops have their own separate area because they form a law enforcement, but the cops get treated just as worse in prison as regular, regular general population inmates do. But here's the thing. Right now, while he's, being charged with murder, this dude's GoFundMe page was already growing. It had already reached 100 grand in one day. But GoFundMe, as they did with Candace Owens, completely suspended all of the campaigns raising money for Kyle Rittenhouse, as they should. I gotta salute. Hold on, I gotta clap for that. As they should. They should have suspended that his fucking because a lot of times those racists are so racist they can just put up any GoFundMe campaign and rip off, like Steve Bannon did when they made that build that wall, that bullshit ass GoFundMe page that raised $25 million in like 30 days. They got several people out there that's hustling, and for those that's hustling, get that money, bro. Pretend you're raising money for his defense, and take all them racist motherfuckers' money from them, and trick that shit off on some green tea or something, or some weed or whatever. But nevertheless, I'm saying all that to say that Kyle Rittenhouse, so I'm kind of joking right now, but Kyle Rittenhouse, had he actually not went to that protest and shot those people, do you realize in 3 years that motherfucker could have been a cop? And at that time he would have had protection. He would have had qualified immunity. He would have got his badge, and a couple of the other cops would have pulled him on the side and say, look here, my dude, I'm gonna teach you how to get away with murder. And he'd be like, oh my God, I can do it. So I'm gonna tell you something. There's several guys. He was part of a young cadet. He was actually a Trump supporting, aspiring police officer. His only agenda was to get on the force because of the shit he heard Trump say and quash all these quote unquote violent protests. And he bought his little dumbass from another state, killed 3 people, and now he getting booked. But there's Kyle Rittenhouses all over America. There's several young white men and black men too, who they urge, they yearn, they're cowards. Now they can't fight, they can't bust a grape in a fruit fight. But these little young motherfuckers, bro, they pussy. They probably got bullied in school. They seen a lot of social media posts. They probably followed Stormfront and 4chan and all this, and Reddit and all that other shit, and got themselves radicalized. And they're like, man, I gotta get on the force, bro. I need to be part of the militia. I need to belong to something because I'm too much of a coward to fight on my own. So you join the force, get a badge, and let the other dirty cops tell you what you can get away with, and then you become, the next police officer to kill the next George Floyd. And you'll get several people raising money for your defense. There's even pro bono lawyers right now that's basically lining up to defend this dude. Kyle Rittenhouse, I mean. Nobody other than Benjamin Crump corny ass is lining up to get money from this dude who got shot in the back. He was the catalyst behind the protest. This man's attempted murder, so to speak. They can always say, yeah, that Jacob Blake was shot in the back, but this dude was it was an attempted murder charge. The cop going to be charged. There's no way. Now, don't get me wrong. If this man is not, mind you, indicted does not mean convicted. The officer that shot Jacob Blake could be indicted, but ain't no jury going to convict this dude. They're going to use that man's criminal background against him. He's actually the perfect guy, Jacob Blake, to get off with. You can say, look at his criminal record. And then there's no jury other than, a jury full of black people that's going to let this man go. You get a jury full of white people looking at the case of this officer, he's going to walk. But look at the case of Philando Castile. The prosecutors know how to pick a sympathetic jury. And you guys need to know that. And the upcoming case of this young man has been charged with 3 counts of murder. It's a strong possibility, y'all. This boy might get invited to the White House. And it's a strong possibility if he's if he's acquitted, there's a strong possibility there's several law enforcement agencies that's going to be reaching out to this kid. Because mind you, he's already 17 now. He'll be 18 in a couple of months. At least by 2021, when he goes to trial. If he gets exonerated, there will be several people lining up to get this nigga a job. And that's just a hard pill we got to swallow. I'm out.